Hey guys, so um I don't know if a lot of people can tell by my looks, but I'm half Colombian. Yes, I am a Latina, although partially, I guess. However, for me, my heritage is personal because I guess it's personal for everybody. It's personal in the sense like I also don't give a fuck about it because I have my internal feelings, how I feel about my family, all of that stuff. And then there's the societal stuff, how people see me and all that jazz, right? I did see I know about the ICE raids going on right now. And I just saw something recently that says a lot of Hispanic influencers are getting called out because they're not bringing awareness to everything that's going on. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's get into it because that is annoying to me, right? Okay. If you're an influencer, which is already right off the bat, just those words coming out my mouth, I'm an influencer. Shut up. Okay. Whatever. If you're a fitness influencer and all you've done is crunches and you put the Vaseline on you so you look sweatier and you're selling smoothies and whatever, now because a situation is topical, you're expected to talk about it, to talk about the protest. There was somebody who said you got to bring awareness. For what? For what? You're not watching the news? You don't know what's going on? You need an influencer to tell you, oh, there's situations going on with immigration, illegal immigration. There's situations going on with ICE. There's situations going on with the politics. You need an influencer to tell you about daily events? You don't have any critical thinking skills. You don't have family members. You don't turn on the news. You can't go on YouTube and see that. You go on Yahoo, it's the first thing you see. Why do you need an influencer to say anything to you about topical situations? Why does an influencer have to address anything that's going on? Figure that out. If you have made a business off of just fitness, if that's your brand, for example, if your brand is your family, which is already a problem for so many reasons, if your brand is just makeup, why do you then have to go in and wade in the waters and figure that BS out? Why do you have to do that? Everybody is such a neutered, morally righteous son of a bitch, and you're so annoying. How about in the same vein, when people say, I don't need celebrities to tell me a damn thing. If you're a guitar player, be great at playing the guitar. If you're a singer, be great at being a singer. And this is the thing, it's like, this is what the culture is, and it's just so easy to be like, this is normal, right? Because it's just, if it's all you know, that's all you know. So I've been watching a lot of Patrice O'Neal lately because I've been dealing with depression, and honestly, he was the boost that I needed to like raise myself from the ashes of depression and be like, okay, I remember that I have a soul, and I have a beating heart inside here, and passion, and I'm not a neutered, castrated imbecile just walking around this planet shoving apps and TikTok up my ass. You know what I mean? He talked about there's something from him on the Opie and Anthony show, and they're talking about Lady Gaga, and Lady Gaga is actually talking about she performed in Arizona, and there was a bill. It was when a bill passed. This was years ago, and that was already like, the writing was on the wall, trouble was on the horizon. There was a queef in the wind that was coming in, and it was coming in strong. You know what I mean? You could see what was going to happen. And so Lady Gaga at her concert, she's like, you know, and she's trying to be profound. She's like, you know, I don't even remember what she said because she sounded kind of out of it, especially with the speakers and everything. She's like, she probably was like, you know, she did say something about being born this way. No one is illegal. We are born this way, and we will unite. And Arizona, we will get together and we will fight this. And then it's just rah, 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 rah. It's just her stupid ass music. And so Patrice and Opie and Anthony, they're just making fun of it. They're like, shut up, it sounds so disingenuous. It sounds so stupid. And they just kept going. They're like, can you imagine? They're like, you know, there are genocides happening every day. Every day there are genocides. And we just want to take this moment to acknowledge that. It's stupid. It's dumb. It is a pop song. It's a ridiculous type of music. It's not great music. Most of the people there are high. They're on drugs. They've got like neon paint on their face, and they're like, whoa, whoa. They just finished blowing a guy in a porta potty. What are you talking about? It's this fake, like, grasping for like depth and profoundness. And Patrice gave a very reasonable reaction. He's like, you know, she's a human being, and it's okay, as all human beings are. We have things that move us, and it would have been a lot better. It still would have been corny because of where you're at and everything, to just be like, hey, listen guys, you know, I know what's going on in Arizona and it stinks, and nothing I say is really gonna fix it or change it, but hey, we're here to have a good time. And you know, hopefully moving forward from today, you know, maybe we can just, I don't know, be a little kinder or something, you know what I mean? And then go into the next song, because it's stupid, because you didn't do shit. And so you need actual comedians with talons, with sharp beaks, who can just rip things apart, so you can remember, like, oh, this is stupid. Because when this is all that you see, you know, and it's all that you know, it's very easy to be like, oh yeah, well, you know, that's normal because this is what we know. It's the same thing like people who grow up in abusive or traumatic environments. It's all you know, so you think it is normal. Your body has adapted, and it isn't until you comparison, you talk to other people, you read books or something, you are exposed to something where you're like, oh, this is not normal, this is not the norm, this wasn't okay. That starts to explain a lot. That doesn't just happen for trauma and abuse, that can happen for everything. We have a very ridiculous society. It's very all over the place. Who gives a shit for an influencer to bring in awareness? Can you imagine? It's so stupid. It's stupid. Can you imagine someone raw the post is like food. It's all food post. It's all food. I'm a foodie. I like chicken, and you know, you got a chicken parm, you got a quinoa salad, whatever the fuck you got, and then you just have, guys, it's black background, very poignant. I just want to take this moment to talk to you about ICE and about what's going on. And today we'll be making chicken quesadillas from scratch. Okay? It's not your brand. It's not what you're about. You don't, why does every single fucking person have to be political? Why do you have to bring awareness? What is bringing awareness doing? Say that out loud. I need to bring awareness to events going on in the world that are being covered everywhere. I need to bring awareness. What is your awareness gonna do? It will just be, and then the person was like, you know, millions and millions of people to do what? Millions of people to be like, this is awful, pray your hands. Millions of people to be like, oh my gosh, this is so bad. Millions of people to get into a political argument under an Instagram, under a picture. What are you doing? What is awareness going to do to change things? Nothing. Nothing. Nothing, baby. I'm so sorry to tell you. Nothing. The protesters that protested for Palestine and Israel, they protested for Palestine. What did they do? What did they do? What did they accomplish? Nothing. What? I am in the business of helping people. I'm in the mental health field. Do you know how hard it is to help people? Do you know how hard it is to elicit change? Personal change within yourself, change within communities? Do you understand how difficult that is? It is brutal. It is brutal. There's a very high burnout rate within the mental health field, and a big recurring topic is you don't really see the fruits of your labor, because you might help somebody they might not be receptive to it. There's bigger issues going on that you just can't do. You have to pass the baton to somebody else. You gotta do the little sign of the cross and be like, Jesus, it's in your hands now, because I don't know what to do. And sometimes you get a win. Sometimes years later you see the person and you're like, crap, they did it. They did it. Sometimes the person, they're not around anymore because their demons were too great. What is awareness going to do going up against politics? What? Awareness to what? There are Marines out there right now. What are you going to do to those Marines? What are you going to do to the National Guard? And I'm certain that a lot of them are Hispanic. What are you going to do? Nothing. Nothing. You're not going to do nothing. You don't need to bring awareness. Awareness for what? You as a human being, as an individual, should go and figure it out. You go look stuff up. Find impartial news outlets. Find unbiased news outlets. And you know what? Look at the biased ones. Look at all of the data and figure out what you want to think. Have your own personal beliefs. Have your own personal morals and ethics. Why do you need influencers to do anything for you? What are you talking about? Influencer. You sound stupid. You sound like you got a wet brain. What are you talking about? The other thing too, they've packaged Latinos and Latinas. This is happening to Latinos and Latinas. Yeah? Or is it just happening to a lot of Mexicans and Salvadorians? Let's be honest. Not every Hispanic person likes other Hispanic people. That's the truth. Why can't you say that? Why can't you say that? Me being Colombian, and I like all types of Hispanic people, I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm more Americanized. My Colombian family, oh, they hate when they have a boss from a different Hispanic country, because they're gonna be assholes. They're like, please give me a white guy, a black guy, not a Hispanic guy. Please don't be a Hispanic guy. Please don't let me have a Hispanic manager or girl. There is so much animosity between different Hispanic countries. Colombians don't like Venezuelans. They don't. Venezuela and Colombian, they border each other. And Venezuela had that oil money. They were living good. They were living the high life. And when things started to go south, some of the Venezuelans went into one of the cities that they border in Colombia. And it was a city where there was like a lot of rain, a lot of flooding. And so the people weren't there. And the Venezuelans went and they took people's houses. They became squatters. There's a lot of animosity between Colombians and Venezuelans, right? There's a lot of hierarchy. There's a lot of colorism. There's a lot of issues. Don't pretend like that shit doesn't exist. Don't come on the internet and pretend like you don't hear what your uncle, your aunt, your tia. Don't pretend like you don't have your own biases. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? How many people are concerned about Salvadorians and Hondurans? They're gonna be like, yeah, that's a lot of Salvatruchas and MS-13. They're gonna be like, you know, like if they're the decent people, but how do we know? What are you talking about? What about the Cubans that came here that got a whole bunch of resources? You think that Cubans are gonna go to bat for all the different Hispanics? No. And again, I am overgeneralizing it, but I'm at least acknowledging that there's issues within the Hispanic community. That is not a kumbaya and everybody gets along. You're so stupid that you don't know this, and you're gonna come up on here and you're gonna lie and you're gonna pretend like it's all good and everyone is so morally uprighteous. And stop that. Stop pretending like people have the energy to go and protest for everybody. People don't have enough money to pay for the kids. They don't have enough money to even have kids. There's a limited amount of self-actualization. People are browbeaten. People can't afford groceries. Mental illness is going up. Suicides are going up. That has been on a consistent and steady rise. What are you talking about? And then you're going up here. You saying you're not doing enough. You're not doing that enough. What? For what? There are people who are going to go out there and they're going to go and protest. That doesn't mean that they're morally superior to people that haven't protested. If you went out there and you're actually there and you're actually trying to be peaceful and you're actually trying to bring awareness, I applaud you. You're out there, you're burning shit down, you're setting things on fire. Is that really anger for the situation, or are you angry at society in general? Is this an outlet because there is no future, because 1 in 4 people don't have jobs, because artificial intelligence is coming for everyone's jobs, because there's an overuse of technology, because we have the loneliness epidemic, because people are addicted to their phones, because self-esteem is being impacted by phones. I could rattle on. There's division among the races. How do you feel that you're bringing unity by over here encouraging people to be canceled because they're not speaking out about a topic? How dare you force other people, you need to speak about this? Why don't you shut your fucking mouth? How about people need to toughen up and be like, I'll talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. And if I don't want to talk about something, I'm not going to talk about that. What are you talking about? Because then, and it never ends. It never ends. Okay, that's going on. And then Palestine is going on. And then Ukraine and Russia is going on. And then there's so many genocides. And then all the rapes. And then all the bad parenting. You have to talk about every single bad thing that's going on? That's stupid. That's dumb. How do people not see that you are helping to encourage a society where it is oneness, it is sameness? There is no individuality. There is no, you can talk about whatever moves you. You should be able to talk about whatever moves you. And if something doesn't move you, or if something is too personal, or if you're like, I don't even know how to wade into these waters, you should not be forced to talk about that. Look at these bullies, these internet bullies that are telling you like, no, you have to go do this. Why don't you get off your ass? Why don't you go figure out what you need to do? And why don't you leave me the fuck alone? Millions of people need to be told what's going on. How stupid are you? What type of jackasses are you? What about the people that follow the influencers as a form of escape? I'm just here to see this bitch do her Kegels, and that's it, and then I'll tap out. What about the people who are like, I'm just here to see this bitch paint a mural as she talks about Jack the Ripper, and I leave, and I go and I deal with the harshness of my reality. And now you gotta come in, and now you got this dumb bitch who used to do yoga poses, and you could make out her pussy lips, and you could be like, all right, well, that's nice, I guess. And you could see all of that, and then she comes over and she's like, guys, today there won't be any downward dog, but there will be a discussion about Darfur. Fuck you. Not everyone is an intellectual. Not everyone is equipped to talk about everything. Some people are stupid. Some people have an average intelligence. That's why it's called average. I don't need to hear the average person talk about a topic that requires more nuance, humor, complexity. What are you talking about? A lot of y'all are not that talented. A lot of you guys are not that talented. A lot of you guys are mediocre. But because we have a phone and you can create an audience, we're supposed to be like, no, but you made it. You can be incredibly mediocre and you can have an audience. Should we go down the list? Who was it with the boom? We bring the boom. Can you imagine? We bring the boom. Guys, today I would like to talk about Rwanda. Shut the fuck up. That's not what people are here for. Shut the fuck up. Now, I think if you are actually a person that talks about topical events, that talks about politics, that talks about these issues, that's different. And if you're missing one, then it's like, oh, it's kind of weird. It's like, well, that's your whole brand. But it's fucking dumb. It's fucking stupid. You sound and look stupid. Shut up. Shut up. A lot of you could shut up. A lot of you could shut up. You know what? That's the thing. Is like, because our 15 minutes is so easily accessible, you can say the same shit about me. I should shut my ass up too. That's okay. That's okay. There's probably some truth to that, right? My videos are very mediocre. They're not where they could be. I am actually very talented. I will say this. No, I'm kidding. I might be. Who knows? I might be. I might not be. Who knows? Who knows? But you know what I mean? I think my thing is I'm angry, and I think my thing is like, you want to try to be a voice of reason and try to point out like, no. I think that's something that works for me. I don't like to be told what to do. I've always been that person where I could pick stuff apart, not to the level that the legends can do it, like Patrice, Carlin, not to that level, but I could at least pick apart a little bit, which is more than you see today. You don't see that. Everybody has to think the same thoughts, and everybody has to be aware, and everybody has to be morally righteous, and for you to be a good person. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I bet if I looked at your personal life, I'd be like, well, they fucked up here, and they fucked up here, and they fucked up here, and they fucked up here. And the thing is, we all fuck up. We all do. Love is a skill set that requires so much. God damn it. God damn those garbage trucks. You sons of bitches. Bastards. Doing their job. Inconveniencing me. It is kind of funny to get all passionate and then just have like dump trucks in the background. It's like, should I see myself out? Throw myself into the back. Anyways, we're moving forward. I don't have the computer to edit this because I have to get a hard drive because my computer is filled. So work in progress. Work with me, talk with me, walk with me. But crap, where was I? Damn it, I don't remember. I was pissed. Crap, I don't remember. But yeah, screw it. Oh, yes, that I'm not that great. How could I forget that I was saying that about myself? No, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, everybody just has to think the fucking same. Everybody has to bring awareness. Everybody has to be on the right side of history. It's sameness. It's groupthink. It's, you want to be part of the in group. You want to be included. That's a human thing. Stop it. That is part of the problem. It is part of the problem that we don't have any individuals. It is part of the problem that we don't have people who are willing to rip things apart and be like, but, and be okay with being disliked. You know, because it's not hatred. It's not hatred to point out, like, some of these situations are bigger than us. You don't have to bring awareness to every single thing. Bringing awareness to millions and millions of people. You don't think millions of people watch the news? You don't think millions of people, like, TikTok, it's also bullshit, because TikTok and Instagram, I never really use TikTok like that, but I know Instagram, I've seen it. There was a lot of violent things that were getting through. The video of the guy who was eaten by a shark got on my feed, and I had just woken up, and thank God I didn't have the sound on, And I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, and because I had just woken up, I'm like, what is this? And then I had to go and Google. I'm like, oh, thank God. And then you hear the details. I'm like, thank God I didn't have the sound on. I don't like shit like that. So to me, it was so surreal because I had just woken up. I'm like, what is it? And so much happens under the water where you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm watching. And then when it hits, you're like, oh, fuck, this is so awful. I don't like watching shit like that. Porn got in on Instagram a number of times from a profile about pandas. You don't think that those images of people setting things on fire, of people being hit by rubber bullets, you don't think that that's going to make it on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook? Yeah, because that's all that we have left. Gratuitous violence and over-sexualized themes. That's it. That's all we have. Because it's like we've reversed. What do you need from other people? I don't understand. Why do influencers have to do any of that? It should be celebrities, we don't want to hear from you. Influencers, we don't want to hear from you either. Shut up. Shut up. That's what I was going to say. The fact that the normalcy of the phone, it makes you forget, right? And so many people judge things based on your following. Well, if you got over 100,000 or if you got in the millions, like, you have all these followers, that means that you have a specialized skill set, or that means that you are more intelligent or you're worthy in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't. You played the game. Maybe it means that you are charismatic. Maybe it means that you are very funny. Maybe it means you just know how to edit and stylize your videos. Maybe it means that you just know how to look at the data analytics and like, okay, well, that was popular. I know to keep pushing that. It's meaningless. So just because someone has a big following doesn't mean that they actually have a great skill set. It doesn't mean, and it also doesn't mean that you can talk about every topic. There's probably topics that are outside of your depth. That's okay. Whatever you do in life, you got to know your audience. Maybe you know that your audience is just there for shits and giggles. And what you're gonna get all serious. I saw somebody on YouTube, and it was a post. I don't know what type of creator they are, but they talking about the ICE raids. Oh my God, thank you so much for talking about this. Why? For what? Now if you're like, hey guys, this is a topical thing, sound off what you think, and you want to facilitate a conversation, a debate, that's interesting. Bring in awareness. What is awareness going to do? What? I know about the ICE raids. I have a very Hispanic family. I keep up to tabs. I have my own personal beliefs. I have my own feelings. We have a family friend who's Mexican, and his family lives in California. I don't know if he's gonna go. He wants to go back. I don't know if he's gonna go back. They don't have papers. I don't need anybody to tell me anything. I don't need any influencer to tell me anything about that, because I have a personal investment, because I have people that I care about, because I have my family members, and my family members are permanent residents. It's no one's business, but I have my own feeling about things. My mom came here illegally. I'm white as fuck, but that's my background. I don't need any stupid, moronic, waste of jizz influencer to tell me anything about that situation. I have friends from all different races and nationalities. Dominican friends, Mexican friends, Cuban friends. My mom has a very wide range of family friends. We have family friends who are Ecuadorian. We have and all different citizenship statuses: illegal, permanent resident. they've become citizens. I don't need anybody to tell me anything about that situation or to tell me what to think about that situation. Not a soul. Not some dumb bitch who's fucking jamming, I don't know, smoothies up her ass. No, I don't need some dumb motherfucker streaming all his kills in Call of Duty 19, whichever one exists. What are you talking about? Have some sense about you. Y'all are embarrassing. And you know what? There are some people who don't give a shit. There are some people who do not care. There are some people who have no knowledge. They don't have a personal investment. They don't care. You're not going to change those minds. You're not. Maybe you can illuminate a handful of people, but I don't think so. I think in this age where so many people have cell phones, so many people are tech savvy, or they have social media, I don't think you're going to really move the needle. Like, I don't know. I thought that was very stupid. I think it's very unnecessary. The reason that I'm getting so angry is not because of the topic. I already talked about my personal investment, and I don't need anyone to know my opinion or feelings about this. That's very personal to me. Nobody needs to know that. But the issue is it's the forcing of the group think. It's the fact that you're gonna cancel somebody. If people are actually making money from being an influencer, from having some sort of YouTube channel, they're actually making money, and you're gonna cancel them because they don't have the same thoughts as you, because they don't do the actions that you want, actions that are meaningless at the end of the day. I think that makes you really pathetic. I think that makes you really pathetic. And I think, watch Patrice O'Neal. Watch him make fun of Lady Gaga for this empty, meaningless gesture. And then sit on that for a while. Sit on it. Get made fun of. And then maybe it'll knock some sense into you. Shut up. Shut up. Awareness is meaningless at the end of the day. You're not moving the needle, versus creating connections with people who might be going through that, who might have family members that are going through that, creating an actual community or unity, talking to people, having friendships, letting them know that you're thinking about them, letting them know, hey, you need something. That shit is the moments where you actually make change tend to be very private, and they tend to be very intimate and localized. That's something that you learn as you get older, because a lot of these people talking, they're in their 20s. I was in my 20s once. I was a rebel without a cause. And you think that you can change the world. We all have that. And then you start to get older and you're like, I can't though, can I? I can't though, can I? But what you can learn is you can change it with like very small little actions. And you might not be able to change the world on a huge, large scale, but in your community, in your family, in your friend circles, you can make change. You can be a person that people respect, that they go to, that they know will have their back. And that'll be more meaningful than posting some empty post. Guys, look at what's going on. Ain't this fucked up? Sure is, buddy. Sure is. All right. Look at my Sheen haul. Look at let's see what else. Let's talk about Bella Hadid's hair color change. Shut up. Shut your fucking mouth up. Shut up. Shut up. That's how I feel. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Touch grass. Touch grass. Stop forcing people to try to do what you think is okay. Stop being such an empty, soulless, neutered nitwit. Have some sense about you. Have some sense about you. And you know what? Screw diabetes, because diabetes took Patrice way too soon. you need people. You need people who are okay with not being liked, who are okay. It's the thing. I know Rick and Morty has its own issues, but I love the part where Rick tells like a crowd, he's like, your boos mean nothing to me because I've seen what you cheer for. You know what I mean? People are over here canceling other people just because they don't do things that they want them to do, which is so odd. It's so weird. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. It's not the situation. It's people's behavior and how that should be dissected and it should be ripped apart. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. And I'll talk to you guys later. Is bothersome to me. And let me know what you guys think about canceling, about this fake moral uprightness that people want to pretend they have on the internet, and this forcing of groupthink. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.